St. Gondrick here, and my local Amtgard Park is about to go into our officer election time. And this is something that every park and every kingdom in the game of Amtgard goes through. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time explaining the offices that you can run for and what their job duties are. I have a lot of new players in my park, and I would love to see some of them step up for leadership. So we're going to take a moment today and go through what it means to be in each office and what you're supposed to do. Currently, we have 3 of the 4 coming up. We have Champion, we have Regent, and we have Monarch. Our Prime Minister is at a later time. Your park is probably like that too, but let's get to it. I am going to jump into one of the best resources around. That is going to be the Amp Wiki. If you ever have any questions, just go and check out the wiki. It's got a lot of information that you need. So right here under high officers, the ones we are looking at today are going to be Monarch, Regent, Prime Minister, and Champion. Some larger parks and kingdoms have Guildmaster of Reeves, and Guildmaster of Knights are on here. Really, Guildmaster of Knights, don't worry about. It doesn't matter. Saying that as a knight, it doesn't matter. Guildmaster of Reeves, your duchy level parks might have these. Essentially, this person is the rules lawyer. If you have any questions specifically about the rules, you go see this person. But the ones that we're going to take a look at overall, we're going to start with Monarch. It says the club CEO. I think that's a good way to put it. Monarch's an Amtgard and responsibilities of the office. The duties of the monarch may vary in different kingdoms defined by the corpora, but primarily it's the monarch's duty to preside over all events during their reign, to settle disputes with the populace and mend old rivalries. If there is a tie in anything, they get to vote. Essentially, in my opinion, Monarch is the easiest of the 4 that we're going to talk about today. If you have a good team underneath you, your Monarch is not really going to do a whole lot. They kind of fill in the holes. They're the supervisor. Their role is to make sure that everyone else is making park run well. And if someone if your champion doesn't show up that day, the Monarch steps in to be able to run games. The Regent needs another judge. The Monarch steps in and is the other judge. The Monarch's job is to make sure everything runs smoothly and to fill in any holes that might come up during the reign. Oftentimes, your Monarch is also the face of your organization. When new players come up, the Monarch should be the one introducing themselves. If a news crew comes out, the Monarch's the one that's going to be on camera. If someone posts on your Facebook group, the Monarch is the one generally who's going to welcome them. The Monarch is the fun role, in my opinion, because you get to set the theme sometimes. So if you, for instance, when I was Monarch of Blackmarsh, I did it for a year, and we did a Harry Potter theme for the whole year. And we broke up into 4 houses, and the houses were the teams for all the games, and it's pretty fun. So if you're the Monarch, you get to decide those things. Next up, we have the Regent, the arts and science office. Responsibilities. A Regent is an elected Amtgardian that runs the arts and science parts of Amtgard and their kingdom for the reign. Dragon Master, Crown Qualls, classes are all handled by the Regent. Pretty straightforward here. The Regent is in charge of the arts and science. So they are the one who is in charge of running the tournaments that you do throughout the reign. Ideally, they're running classes throughout the reign as well. This is how to sew a basic tunic, how to sew a sword cover. We're making arrow covers today. Things of that nature. They're also in charge in most kingdoms, our park, they're kind of the ones who are in charge of the feasts. Whenever we have food at park for our big events, we kind of do a potluck pitch in type thing. And that person is in charge of organizing all of those things. Something else that the Regent is in charge of is the Regent is the one who, if the Monarch steps down for any reason, the Regent becomes the next Monarch. They're kind of the number 2, the second person in charge right there in most kingdoms. Now we have the Prime Minister. This is my favorite of all of the offices. I really enjoy Prime Minister. This is too much to read, so we're not going to do that. Prime Minister essentially is the behind the scenes person for your park. They're the one who keeps up with all of the orc. They're the ones who enter attendance and awards each week. They're the ones who do all of the back office stuff. They might also work as a social media director, someone who's in charge of all of your stuff in that manner. I enjoy all the back office stuff, so it's pretty fun. This person is also in charge of keeping up with your coffers. This is all your money. So whenever someone wants to become dues paid, they put it, generally you have a bank bag, or some kingdoms have bank accounts. Deposit that money in, give a receipt back to the person. They're the one who is in charge of all of the money. So, and last but not least, we have our champion. This is the safety officer. Again, probably not going to actually read all that. I think that's too long. Essentially, your job as champion, check all the weapons, make sure the weapons are good, then go through and provide games for your park. In my opinion, the local level champion is the most important role in all of Amtgard, because you're the one who's in charge of people playing games on a weekly basis at your park, and that's where people have the most fun. So generally try to have at least one, if not two games planned for each week. If you're not going to be there, chat with your Monarch, make sure someone is going to be there to run games. And then you also keep track of your lost and found. And our champions generally we have a big tote with all of our loner garb and loner gear. The champion is in charge of doing all of those. So if you have any questions about the 4 main roles in Amtgard, please leave them down in the comments below. I hope this was helpful. Just a quick rundown of what these offices are. I would love, and your park would love for you to run for office. Even if it's just your first time, you've never done it before, we want to see more people stepping up to help other people have fun in our game. So if you have any questions about what do I do here, what's next, how does that work, please leave those down in the comments below. I'd love to chat with you about it. Anyway, my name is St. Godric. We'll see you next time.